Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and this is video 2 in our series called Faded Denim, and this is my design team project for Collage Type for July of 2022. There we go. Big mouthful, huh? So before was a little bit shorter video. We were talking about the project and then how halfway through setting up the project, I decided to change it into something different. So what I've done is I've printed out all of the pages and then I have cut them in half, and with these printed with the borders instead of the full height. And the reason I did that was so we would have a small border all the way around. Then the width turns out to be 5 5/16, and then the height is whatever the height is with the border cut off. I didn't measure it because it doesn't matter. We're not trimming it any. So I got all of these pages out of that, and I'm going to start out with 3 pages of cream colored paper with the stamp. And I decided to go with the large stamp that my friend Dorlisa gave me. That was the letters, because there's some pages with some letters on it, and I thought that would match better. And then I'm probably going to add a 4th page, but my 4th page is going to be one of the ones we had printed borderless. And there's a reason for that, because there's a feature that I want to make for the book that requires the page to go all the way to the edge and not the stamped like this. We're not going to be doing that page in this video series because it's a page that I've done before, and the purpose of these 4 videos is to do 4 features that I have never done before, and so hopefully they will turn out. Now, when we make the page, we're not going to glue them in the book, because I'm going to make another set of pages and the book's going to have 2 small signatures. So I don't want to go ahead and glue them in and then need them to be in a different order. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the page, and then we're going to set it to the side so that I can glue it in the signature wherever it is that I want to glue it in. Okay? I hope that's clear. It's probably clear as mud. So what we're going to do today, I don't think I need these, is we're going to make a double belly band out of an envelope that's going to have 2 windows, and then we're going to have 2 writing cards and 2 little cards that go into the envelope. So I've cut and inked the paper for this page, which is this, and so we're not going to need that. Yes, we are going to need it right away. Now, I'm going to print this envelope, but I need to trim it down to the right size first. Okay? Put these 2 papers up here, little papers. And so what I need to do before I print the envelope, and I'll tell you how I'm going to do that in just a second, is we need to trim the envelope to the correct size of the page. So let me set this aside. And then let's mark the envelope to the correct height. We want it to be the height of the page. Let's mark it here. And then we're going to cut it off right there. Which I felt it slide, so I feel like it might have cut crooked. Yeah, just a little bit. So I'm going to put this where it's supposed to be. Let's compare it to the page and see where we're at. Okay, we're fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print on the page, or on the envelope. And how I do that is, this is a piece of typing paper, just regular thin paper, and I've printed out the image that I want to be on the envelope. Now we only are going to print one side of the envelope, which is the side that's facing up, obviously, the front side. So we're going to, we're not going to undo this. Okay, we're going to leave it together. And we're going to use our repositionable tape. I know that doesn't sound like I pronounced it correctly, but I did. And we're going to use it to glue the envelope down to the carrier page. And then we're going to print the image that we want, which is this image, on the envelope. Now that's why I went ahead and printed it with the borders, because it helps me see whether I have the envelope straight or not. Because I can put it right up against the border instead of against the edge of a page. Then I just stick it down with the tape. And now I'm going to run it through the printer. So I'm going to put you on pause and I'll be right back. Envelope. I think the camera just turned on. Sorry about that. I printed on the envelope by sticking it on there with the tape like this. And so it printed out this on top of here. Okay? You have to remember to put it back in the printer the right way, or it's going to print on the wrong side. Okay, now I did that the very first time I did this, because I did a trial run and then realized I had forgotten to trim the envelope, which it'll still work. And I believe I have it around here somewhere. But for our purposes, this is what we want to do. Now, we're going to cut 2 windows in this envelope of ours. And to do that, we need to take the envelope all the way apart. So it's already partially apart from where we cut it. So now we just need to actually take it apart. It's only glued in the middle right here. So we can just take it apart. Now the one I had earlier just came right apart. And I'm hungry, so I know that means it's dinner time that you guys are watching this, or breakfast. Some people watch before they go to work, while they're getting ready for work. And then that means you're eating. There it goes. Why is this one stuck down like crazy and the other one I did barely stuck at all? Quality control, that's what I say. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut 2 windows. Let's see what side's printed. This side's printed. So we're going to cut 2 windows on here. I'm going to use my Big Shot and a rectangular die. And we're not going to do that on camera because that's going to take too much time. And also, this is not a tutorial on how to use the Big Shot. So I'm going to put you on hold again. I'm going to cut the 2 windows and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the 2 rectangles cut. Now the size of the die that I used is 1 size smaller than what you would use for a check envelope, because then you're just using 1. As you know, I make my own quote-unquote check envelopes because it's easier for me to do this than it is for me to try to cut out the shape on the non-printed paper and then have to put paper on it and then trace around and cut it out. I just am not able to do that. I sometimes put paper on this first, glue it down, and then cut the hole. That's another option. This particular case we printed on the envelope first. So this is what we're left with. Now we need to cover the inside of the envelope where the windows are. So we're going to do that with the, well, actually, let's do this first. Let's ink and put the acetate on the windows. We're going to ink those real quick. And this ink isn't super dark, but I guess I could have done this part off camera, but I didn't think of it. And I can do it quick enough that you don't need to be put on pause again. So the whole point of this is to make a double belly band, and we're going to have double pockets with windows. So that means we're going to have double large cards and double small cards. So I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to do and see if I could pull it off. You guys are my guinea pigs. Okay, so we're going to ink that, and then we're going to take a piece of paper that's the wrong size. I cut it the wrong size, and we're going to use it to paper behind the windows. Now, I'm not really going to try to cut two because I don't want it to interfere when we're putting things in and out either. So what I'm going to do, let's see, is first I'm going to put the acetate on. I told you I've never done this before, so I'm trying to think through the steps and not get messed up. I keep a paper clip on my acetate so I don't lose it. Get out my Sharpie marker. Now I'm seriously thinking of just cutting one long piece so we don't have to worry about when we put things in and out of our envelope with it catching. But it's still going to be, I am going to do that, I think. It's just going to be easier. Let's move it over a little bit. Make sure it's straight. Okay, so I want it to be this long. I want it to be this wide from the edge. Okay. This comes in flat sheets and a pad, like a pad of tracing paper, and what's really nice is there is a piece of tracing paper between the pages, but for some reason once you take it off the pad it wants to curl up. Put the paper clip back on the big piece. And then we need to cut this width. A little bit of sticky of that repositionable tape on here, I think. It's kind of funky. I got some glue on here accidentally too. Okay, so I'm going to cut that off, and I'm going to paper clip this piece that's probably the perfect size for another window to my bigger piece so I don't lose it either. So now we have this piece that we're going to try not to lose, and we're going to glue it to here. Let's get Oz's hair off there. His hair gets everywhere off of my shirt. So let's I'm thinking about putting the glue on the acetate and laying it down. But I think I better, oh, we're going to divide this in half with glue as well. Let me see. I did write down the order that we're going to do this in, but now I'm kind of double thinking my plan. Let's put the glue, I know it goes to here. I'm not gluing this very straight. Did it go all the way to the bottom? We'll find out in just a moment. Okay, we're going to glue our acetate on. It's narrower than my glue. Yeah, that's not going to work. This is going to be interesting. Because I can't see. Okay, let's see if this works. Yes. Now we're going to have to wait for this extra glue to dry around the outside. Sometimes you can rub it and it will kind of ball up. Sometimes you have to use a glue eraser. Sometimes you can just let it dry. Oops. Yeah, see, this is coming right off. Most of it anyway. These little pieces, and you pick them up. This wasn't very much glue. Okay, so we've got that. And we've got it inked. Oh look, we've got a little bit of acetate on there. I mean ink on our acetate. Glue on our acetate. Alright, so we want to close this part back up. Yeah, because we can't put the paper in here. Let's cut the paper just like we did the acetate. Let's flip it over. Now we won't have to ink this, but obviously we will have to glue it. It doesn't seem quite right, but we'll find out in just a minute. People are stomping up and down the stairs, so Oz is kind of going woof. Now obviously we're not going to glue it right here, but I want to make sure, whoops, this appears to be the right size to glue to the back of the envelope. Let's see what it looks like as the back of the, oh, that's nice. Now we're going to want this to be on the right side. That'll make it right side up. So let's mark this as the top. And let's mark this as the top. That way our letters here will be right side up because this is directional. Which if I'd have realized that, I wouldn't have used something else probably. So what we need to do now is we need to put the envelope partially back together so we can glue the, let's see, how are we going to do this? We need it to be here. But we need it to be glued to this. So what we need to do we need to glue those two pieces back together. You just follow the original glue line. And I'm going to put a little bit right there because I don't want our cards to catch going in and out. So we're going to put that there. That'll glue these two back together, and that will give us something to glue the back onto. Okay, so now let's take our paper. We're going to need to glue it right here. Onto this paper. So what we're going to have to do is put glue on this paper. I told you I've not done this before, so I'm kind of thinking it out and doing it as we go. I'll glue it on these three sides. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on all four sides. We're going to slide this in here where it goes. I'm going to glue it down like that. Let's move this over. Okay. And now we'll glue this down. I want to make these double pockets, so I want to put glue across here, which is right in the middle between the windows, up to the fold, all the way to the end. And that will make 2 pockets for us. Then we want to glue this shut. Wow. I'm going to redo that glue. Okay. And this is our belly band. And we are going to, we got our 2 pockets. Let's see what side. We should make the pockets on this side. So we're going to cut a thin little slice off of here. I think. Yeah. And that way we can put cards in and out. And then we've already glued it in the center, so that should make 2 pockets. 1 and 2. Oh, we forgot to glue this end together. You and me, you didn't remind me. Okay. So we want to just glue across this end right here. I forgot that was still open. Now that should give us what we want, which is this. So we're going to have 2 pockets here. And I think we I really don't want to cut thumb holes. Oh, we're going to make tabs. I got these from AliExpress and they're whale tail tab die cut. So I'm going to cut some out of the cream colored paper and then add them to the cards so that we can pull them out without having to worry about what was I going to say? Without having to worry about having them stick out. You see what I mean? We'll put whale tail tabs on them. Now, I haven't picked out the card paper yet. So what I was thinking is that we'll probably go ahead and do the double part of this. And then glue it on the paper, make the 2 big tags, and then all we have left to do is make 2 small tags that fit in here and put on tabs. And I think you can probably handle that. Now, to make this a double belly band, we need to glue this onto something else. Let's make it... Oh, we got to switch to a new video. Hold on. Okay. Now, what we need to do is glue this to another piece of paper as a belly band. Then we're going to glue the piece of paper to our page as a belly band. That will give us a double belly band. Now, I'm trying to decide if it should be the same width or not. I think it should, and the reason is we only printed our envelope on one side. So when we put the card in, we don't want to be able to see an edge, you know, that's white. It was okay that we used a white envelope with this project, even though everything is cream, because we were printing on the envelope. So let's make our piece the same width. And the same length. Good grief. Let me move these back out of the way. We're going to make the little cards, you know, out of the same paper. So we probably could use this. This is another offcut that I have that I cut wrong. That birdie would make a pretty one. Only thing is the tab would be right on him. Anyway. So now this should be the same size as this. My friend Teresa did a video similar to this on Timeless Paper Treasures. Only she used something completely different as the top part. And I saw my envelope and I thought, you know, I bet I could do that with an envelope. So we're just going to glue it on the top and the bottom, so that it makes a belly band. Not a very straight one, but a belly band. So let's glue this right on here. Wow. Okay. So that makes this into a belly band here. Oops. And wait for the glue to dry. And then we're going to turn right around and glue this as a belly band onto this page. Okay, so then we're going to glue this at the top and the bottom. Then I'm going to say, I think we did it. Now, I don't want to jump the gun or anything. Okay, let's make sure it's straight. Make sure it's in the center. You know what I didn't do is I didn't ink the envelope. You guys almost let me forget. Yeah, it looks like it is a little crooked, so I'll trim it up a little bit before I glue it on again. I I think this will be a fun element. I'm going to have to remember this. I mean, I'm not going to do it over and over and over again, but I think this book, when I get done with it, might go in with my reference books, where I have books that I've made, items that I want to remember how I made them. Okay, so let me trim this up just a little bit. I think I just glued the paper on just the slightest bit crooked. Trying to see if it came unglued up here when I trimmed it. Made that a little dark to still cover up that slightest little bit. So let's make this a little bit darker too. Okay. So now let's glue it to the page. Now I'm going to make the little cards. I'm going to make one of the big cards on camera. Then you'll be able to make the other one that goes under the other belly band. Come on now. So now we have a double belly band, and because this is the same paper as this, when the cards are out, you don't see the cream part at all, and so you can't even really tell that it's there at all. Now, we're going to make our cards out of this paper here, which I really like. And I want to keep the butterfly part. So let's go ahead and measure this one underneath. This is the one that's going between the envelope and the cream colored belly band. That's why you don't see it when I put it through. I'm going to make it just a smidge smaller. The easiest way to remember the width of these pages is 5 1/4 plus a 1/16, and then it comes out. So now we should be able to put this in. What is my deal? Wow. Okay. Well, that amount didn't work. Let's do a little bit more. Oops. Crash bang. There we go. Okay. We want to be able to see the card underneath, our bigger card. So we're only going to put it out that far. And we'll put it out that far on this side. I think I want to make it a little bit wider all the way around, so let's do this side a little wider than I, had showing on the other side. Yeah, these are too small, or this is too small. I was hoping we could take this paper and make our cards for the inside. Yeah, see, that's fine. Okay, so we'll take this out. And we'll round the corners. And you're going to do the same method to make the little cards. They're just going to be smaller, obviously. Then we're going to ink this. That card turned out really pretty. It's printed on the back. Then the next bigger card, we'll do the same way, only we'll do it underneath the double belly band. And I don't have paper printed double-sided for that because I didn't think about it needing to be larger, a larger piece. So I'll make a darker one. I'll probably just put you on pause, print out a couple of pieces that double-sided so that we can make the cards, and then come back, and then we may have enough time to make one of the smaller cards. However, they're made exactly like the way I just made this one. They're just smaller pockets. They don't go all the way through. Okay, so this one goes here. Yeah, now that we've rounded the corners, it goes in a lot better. That one goes there. We'll make one bigger one the same way we made this one, only under the underneath this belly band here. So we've got this belly band here. And then we've got this belly band here. Okay, then we've got these pockets over here. We've got one pocket here and one pocket here. And we're going to make the cards right up to the edge of the pocket. And then that way we can put our tabs on there. I'm going to make some cream colored ones and put them on, but I don't have any cream colored ones right now. So let me put you on hold real quick and we'll make one of the small ones. Okay. I know I say okay every time we come back, don't I? So in order to get the pattern paper that I wanted, I ended up having to use one of these. So if I want to use this again, I'm going to have to print out the whole page and cut it in half again. So I'll end up with a duplicate, which is alright. So now we're going to take this, stick it in this pocket, and it doesn't really matter which end we use. It's going to be too big, I think, because the pattern goes all the way around on both sides. Make sure to print the back side with it being borderless. Otherwise you'll have to trim it down a little bit because it'll print the back side with a little white border around. I know for a fact because I just did that. Since this was a non-directional, not, you know, like a picture pattern, it worked out fine. Okay. So that worked out fine. So now let's mark it here. It's almost too small. Definitely too small that way. Okay. Pretty sure I marked it, but now I don't remember where. Oh, I see it right there. Let's double check. Boy, you really have to be careful, don't you? Yeah. So then this card will fit in here. And then you'll do the other one out of this paper the same way, avoiding this corner, which is the way the paper is. I mean, yes, you could do it any way you want. So you're going to ink this on both sides. And then I'm going to leave the card sticking out a little bit so I can grab a hold of it and get it out to put the tab on it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to slide it all the way in there to where I can't get a hold of it very easily. And then I'll cut out my cream colored tabs. I have some smaller ones and some larger ones. I got them on AliExpress, if I didn't mention that before. It took me forever to find them. I had to go through a whole bunch of tab dye before I got the right one. If I think about it, I'll put a link to it in the PDF. Hopefully I will remember. Okay, so I'm not going to push that all the way in, so I can put the tab on it. Boy, that's really close, isn't it? I may cut another one a little bit wider. Yeah, because you can still see the blue a little bit, so I personally think that's a little narrow. Let's try to do better with this one. Make sure you're in the hole for the pocket. I glued this one too tight. Let's start a little big and work our way down. Be sure to keep these scraps. They make good pockets. Even this, because it's shut. Oh, no, it's not. We can throw it away. Let's just take a 1/16 off. See where we're at. You have my permission to throw that scrap away. I'm just wondering if I glued it in such a way that the window, the pocket's gonna, the card is gonna show, because it's not, I can't get it in far enough to fill the window. That's gonna make me upset if I did. We're going to trim this in the littlest increments possible. And you just keep going back and forth until you get it. Ooh, just a smidge. I think we'll have it. You see, that's what I did. The glue in the center is off center. So we can cover that up easily enough by putting a border around the windows, or washi tape. I've got some washi set out that matches. This has birds. Does have houses though, but this is feathers, and I could probably make a border around each of these, or even just the tops and the bottoms is really all I need. If this was a little bit wider, this one is wider. I don't think it would cover though. Anyway, I'm gonna look, and I think I'll just put some washi, like a piece across here, and here, and here, And that will cover up that little bit of a mistake that I made. Either that or, yeah, you can see that this pocket's bigger than this one. And that's why it makes it off for the window. I could widen it just a little bit with my bone folder without ungluing the whole thing. Hopefully without gluing, tearing our envelope. The paper's not very thick. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting the bone folder in here, and I'm just kind of pushing against the glue to see if I can get part of the glue undone without completely ungluing it. Just enough so that I can fit this card in here and have it fill up the window. Yep. Alright, I'm going to work on this, and then I will show you real quick at the beginning of the next video how it turned out. Let me see right now and see if it worked. Yes, it did, actually. All I have to do is just a smidge more and it will work. And then we'll just cut off the length like we did on the other one. And then you're going to need one more larger card behind it right there. Okay, so that's our double window belly band card or page. And then we'll set this page to the side to be put in the book at a later date on whatever page I need it on. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video, and I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.